Okay, now we're going to look at the ogive curve. And to graph an ogive curve, these are the numbers you need. The last number of the intervals. So these are the intervals. They're all about taking 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. We don't graph them to here. You'd end up with a funny graph, though some people try. It's called ogive is sometimes called a cumulative frequency curve. So 40, you're going to graph to 12. 50, you're going to graph to 30, and so on, all the way down. You just graph those points and you get 4 marks. If you can remember to take 30 and zero it, put it to 0. So what does it look like? I'll turn the screen here and we're going to take a look at exactly what it looks like. There's the ogive curve. 30 goes with 0. 40 goes with, it looks like about 12. It's sort of an estimate thing. 50 goes with 30. I can see some of the points that go. It looks like 60 goes with 85. And then there's some other points. I can see that 80 goes with, it looks like 185. And right at the top, watching 100 hours of TV, those people that watch between 90 and 100, just this, not too many of them, it looks like 5 of them, or 4 of them watch it, that's 200. You add it up as you go along, so that's a total of 200 students that were studied. And I can see that like 12 watch between 30 and 40, and so on. Between each two dots, the change in Y is how many hours they watched. So there's your graph. You just graph it all nicely. You put in those points and you get 4 marks. But what if they asked, what's the median? Could you use your ogive curve to estimate the median? Not estimating the median with your calculator, but with the ogive curve. Well, for the median, you take the number of students and go to the middle. Just divide by 2. That's 100. You run over until you hit the ogive curve and run down, and there'd be an estimate. You'd estimate 64 hours. If they said estimate the first quartile, so you'd go down not to 200 students, 50 students. What's your estimate for 50? Well, it looks like 50, we run down here, it looks like about 55 hours. So for 50 students, the first quartile, you'd estimate about 55 hours. Doesn't have to be exact. Now, in this particular question, they asked, estimate how many people watch 75 hours or less. So you go to the hours this time. You go to 75, you run up till you hit your curve, and then you run over, and it looks like 165 students watch 75 or less. Well, that would mean that 25 watch more than 75 hours. 25 watch more. And sometimes they ask for a percentage. What percentage should go 165 over 200? Which percentage watch more? Oh, it looks like 35. 200 minus 1, 35 over 200. That's your percentage. And that's how you use the ogive curve. If they said third quartile, I'd go to 150. Run over and run down to get my estimate. Those are the kind of things they ask. And it's just not so really hard. Okay, that's it for a little refresher on ogives.